This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepherd. Thank you so much for joining us. Topping news, layoffs projected at the island's leading hotel property. The Commonwealth Union of Hotel Services and Allied Workers confirming today that union executives, along with its advisor, attorney Obi Ferguson, were told by management of the Grand Lucayan Resort that close to 60 jobs will be on the chopping block in the coming days. Attorney Obi Ferguson telling ZNS News this afternoon that the planned terminations will not go down well on Grand Bahama given the state of the economy.
The areas are security area, the housekeeping, the laundry department, they're looking at, and reservations. There are some of the areas they're looking at this point. But the immediate feedback that I receive is very, very difficult for them to accept. And the president of the union is not prepared to accept it, nor her executive board. Therefore, I think it's going to be a little rough road trying to find a happy medium that would be reasonable.
Ferguson says while the government appears to be doing all it can to help during these tough times, he believes some companies are not going far enough to help the workers. The union is calling on the government to intervene in this situation. The union is accusing management of the resort of making plans to replace these workers with casual and part-time workers without job security or status.
If they terminate these workers and they are employed by another company, things like vacation, things like sick pay, things like pension, and those type of situations would be out. I mean, for example, they would not be able to get a loan, some of them, because the loan have a lot to do with how long they've been employed with the company and some level of stability. And some of these fly-by-night companies that come in, the so-called hire these workers, aren't able to satisfy the lending institution that these people should be given any money on the basis of their employment. So all of those type of things are going to definitely have a serious and a negative effect on the average worker.
Attorney Obi Ferguson says the union plans to meet with members on Grand Bahama this week to discuss the next course of action. We contacted an executive with the Hutchinson Resort property, but they did not confirm or deny the pending terminations. A story regarding a family's fight for a land ownership which landed a Grand Bahama man behind bars taking a new twist. Joan Davis-Roll has that story.
The magistrate said to Mr. Cedric Hepburn and to Mr. Troy Garvey and to all of you who are here today that charges against Mr. Cedric Hepburn has been withdrawn. There's no case in this matter to the Fortune Key incident.
A surprise ending coming Friday in a case involving resident Cedric Hepburn, as Magistrate Debbie Ferguson announced that the case has been withdrawn. The initial charges were filed 2 months after the dramatic turn of events on Tuesday, January 22, 2013. It was an incident which went viral as Hepburn took a bulldozer and rammed it into the entrance of a gated community in Fortune Bay known as Fortune Key. Hepburn was accused of causing $11,000 in damages and pleaded not guilty to the charge. This action reportedly coming after the situation came to a head over a land dispute between the Hepburn family and principals of the Grand Bahama Port Authority over legal ownership of property located in the upscale community. Now, local activists Troy Garvey and Ethnian Farquharson say they were in court on Friday when Magistrate Debbie Ferguson informed the court of the latest turn of events.
First of all, let's give God the glory, for all things are possible when you trust in Him. That's number one. Number two, on Friday, it dealt my heart a positive blow to show that the small man will get righteousness in this town. Justice will prevail. When all charges for Mr. Cedric Hepburn was dismissed by Magistrate Debbie Ferguson in regards to the Fortune Key incident, when everybody can remember that he knocked down the gate under the auspices of claiming ownership to the land up there in Fortune Key. I think today is showing that that's victory number one.
That we must not forget that David did kill Goliath. I think that would speak volumes to the situation now.
The plaintiffs in this case were Fortune Key Development and Fortune Key Homeowners Association. During Hepburn's first court appearance, Magistrate Debbie Ferguson stated that in accordance with amendments in the law, she informed Hepburn, who was on police bail, that she had no jurisdiction to grant bail. Hence, he would have to apply to the Supreme Court for bail. He was then taken into police custody until such time as an application for bail could be filed. Meanwhile, Garvey Ferguson, along with activist Joseph Dowell, are now questioning the way Hepburn was treated and are calling for a public apology.
I believe, in all honesty, Cedric Hepburn needs a public apology from all, even to those who call him a terrorist, because it decharacterized his integrity. Even as far as travel, his level was moved up to a level where they was looking at him in a funny way. So he deserved a public apology from all and sundry to make sure that his name has been vindicated.
Well, I think the police should apologize and to Mr. Hepburn, and I think there should be some sorts of reparation.
From the human rights perspective, I would like to congratulate that court and say that it sets a precedent that you cannot always fool with the common man, because there's no man that's common. We all have the dignity of the divine, and therefore our rights have to be respected.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Police say the man killed in a stabbing incident over in Bimini last week has been identified as 45-year-old Carl Yerga of Pennsylvania. He was stabbed on the premises of a resort property on that island last Friday. According to ABC News in Pennsylvania, Yerga was a youth leader from Berks County who was on a business trip to Bimini when the fatal stabbing occurred. According to the U.S. media, 4 Americans on spring break are being held in connection with the stabbing. Local police say investigations are continuing. A fire in the Malibu Reef area yesterday having an impact on the surrounding area. Smoke pillowed for miles last evening, blanketing a significant portion of the Call Road and downtown areas. Fire crews have been monitoring the situation. The thick smoke also having an impact on schools in the immediate area today and forcing early closure for some institutions. St. George's High and Sunland Baptist Academy among the schools that were forced to dismiss classes early this morning. Reports say some students complained of respiratory problems as well as other smoke-related ailments due to the thick smoke in the general vicinity. As for now, for the most part, the smoke has dissipated. Firefighters kept busy this weekend investigating several fires in the Freeport area. The first incident, a bush and then a building fire on Polaris Drive in Britannia State. Both fires were extinguished. However, the building, a yellow and white single-story stone triplex, incurred extensive damage. The cost of the damage is estimated to be around $80,000. Then around 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, police were called to a building fire on Pinta Avenue and King Drive to a 2-story stone 9-unit townhouse complex. The fire was contained to 1 unit that received extensive damage. Investigations are continuing into both incidents. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues after this.